What's going on, fish nerds? Welcome back. We are getting started on the new fish tank rack, shrimp tank rack, and bought some new tanks. Got a couple of 40 breeders over here that I picked up, just still sitting in my entryway. But also picked up a couple of 10 gallons. But we're also going to reuse some of the old 10 gallons. But some of those actually still have things in them that need to come out in order for us to get them moved onto the new rack and get them drilled and everything. And one of those, you may remember last year, I bought a new Betta. It's obviously not new anymore. I bought him last year. But you know, he's not a show winner or anything like that. But I just thought he was really cool, so I bought him. And I actually had plans for him all the way back then. I knew where I wanted this fish to go, and I even said in that video that I knew where I wanted this fish to go, but he still has been sitting in that 10-gallon tank in quarantine all this time until finally we are ready to move him into the living room. He is actually going to go here into the 55-gallon tank with the lamb chop rasboras. Now, I did not pick up more of the lamb chop rasboras after the last time we saw this tank. I didn't get a chance to get back to my local fish store like I wanted. Well, I take that back. I got to go back one time, and I got there right after somebody else had already bought all the SB rasboras that they had gotten in stock that week. But at this point, these guys have been in here quarantining long enough that I didn't want to add any new fish to the tank. You know, initially I was like, oh, I'll just buy some every week, and then once I've got it all stocked up, I'll just let them all quarantine together. But you know, it's been about a month or so, so I really don't want to add anything to these guys because these guys really are kind of already quarantined. So I figured, why not go ahead and add the Betta in here, get his tank emptied out, and then when we get more SBs, we can just quarantine them somewhere else and then move them back in. And we'll do it that way. But you can see we're still fighting the algae battle. We've made a lot of progress on the brown algae and the hair algae, but unfortunately the blackbeard algae has come out in force, so it's kind of more just fighting a new algae battle at this point. Hair grass isn't doing too hot. It's died back a lot, but I also did just replace the bulbs on this T5 light fixture, so that should help a whole lot, possibly even with the blackbeard algae. When your T5 bulbs are really old, they tend to not put out enough light for your plants to really grow very strong, but enough for algae. And so hopefully my plants will kick it into high gear now with the new bulbs, and that will help fight this blackbeard algae a lot as well. I'm also thinking I'm just gonna dose some hydrogen peroxide, put some on that, and kill that stuff off. So I guess the thing to do right now is we need to see a Betta in here. Alright guys, so I have added him to the tank, but he is hiding, but I think he just poked his head up here. As soon as I added him in here, he swam down into these plants. But I did just see him stick his head up from behind that wood right there. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Let's see if we can get him to come out here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to feed the tank here and see if that food will cook. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. You guys haven't seen this guy in a while, and I don't think I ever revealed his name on the channel, but this is Smaug. And there he goes, back behind the wood again. So yeah, I'm going to throw some food in here and see if that'll coax him out a little bit. Here he comes. Here he comes. So a lot of people don't realize that you actually can keep a Betta in a community setup like this, depending on what you're keeping them with, you know, as long as it's not something that's going to nip those flowing fins that they've got, or as long as it's something that's not too similar as far as, you know, something like another anabanoid like a gourami or something like, maybe, you know, you might be able to get away with a honey gourami, but generally gouramis aren't going to be a good idea. Something like paradise fish, that kind of a thing. But, you know, your small schooling fish like these SB rasboras are going to be great. Neon tetras are going to be great. You know, most of you, like your Cory cats and things like that, that aren't going to bother them, those are going to be fine. But, you know, like Serpate tetras or something like that are going to be nipping fins a lot, I wouldn't recommend that, just because they're going to be, obviously, as fin nippers, they're going to have plenty of fins to nip at when it comes to bettas. But something like these guys, these SB Rasboras, these are great for keeping with bettas, because bettas, they're not just killer fish. That is cool. I didn't even realize he could do that. I didn't realize that cave went up in through there. Huh. Anyway, sorry. They're not just these deadly killer fish that'll attack anything in the tank. They're aggressive to other bettas. You can't keep two male bettas in a tank. They will fight to the death. They will stress each other out, fighting constantly, and they will kill each other. But as far as other species of fish go, you're fine. You know, and you know, your mileage may vary. You may get a betta that's just kind of a jerk that'll chase, you know, everything from guppies to neon tetras around and just, you know, kind of be a jerk in the tank. But by and large, when it comes to bettas, you can keep them with other species of fish. Just only have one betta per tank. But one betta and a whole school of SB Rasboras, you're going to be just fine. Now, as for this tank, I do have more plans yet for what I want to add to this. I do plan on adding some Angelicus loaches to this tank. You know, I've got a couple of those out in the 75 gallon out in the fish room. I plan on moving those and getting a few others to put out here. Have a small school of Angelicus loaches down at the bottom of this tank. Have the SB Rasboras up here in the middle and top region. And then having the betta, you know, just hanging out, doing his thing, going wherever he wants to go. So then we'll have a schooling fish up here in the middle and top. We'll have the loaches down here, keeping things clean, picking up all this extra food off the bottom, and doing their little loachy business, keeping the snail population down. And this guy just being a nice little accent piece, which is why I bought him. When I bought this guy last year, I had this in mind of having him and a big school of these SB Rasboras, because I knew that blue and purple color that he's got would just look gorgeous surrounded by all these bright copper colored SB Rasboras. And I was not wrong. This guy, like I said, he's not a show winning betta, you know, he doesn't have all the perfect conformity and all that stuff. But I think he's a really pretty fish. He's got some really cool color. And I think he pops really well with these SB Rasboras. And I think the more comfortable he gets in the tank, the more we're going to see him. And I'm really happy with the way this tank is turning out. As long as I can beat this algae. And I've got to figure out something to do over here, because this Rotala has not worked out for me at all. So if you guys have suggestions on what to put here that'll fill this out really nice, I'm thinking, you know, another stem plant probably, but whatever will fill this in really nice, a nice tall, something bushy that's going to contrast well against what we have going on over here. But overall, we're making good progress, and the fish are looking great. I mean, look at the color on these guys. I honestly think these guys are every bit as pretty, if not even a little prettier than neon tetras. And look at this guy just showing up right in the middle of that school and popping with that nice blue and purple. I love it. This is exactly what I was hoping for. I love it.
A few moments later.
Oh my goodness. Oh my word. That's a little baby fish. What kind of baby fish is that? I'm at a loss. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how that little baby fish got here. I don't know if that... What is it? What is this little baby fish? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. There's a fry in here, guys. I don't know how it got here. Unless it's a pork chop rasbora fry, in which case, wow. And how did that happen? I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, wow. I don't know what this is, but I'm sure going to try and catch it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I hope you give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification icon so that you don't miss next week's video. You guys are awesome. God bless you, fish nerds. I'll see you next time.